Homelander didn't become a monster overnight. Everyone blames the lab, some blame Vought, others blame his god complex. But the truth is even darker. Because Homelander had multiple chances to become something different. And every single time, he made the worst possible choice. These are the biggest mistakes that slowly destroyed Homelander. Mistake number 1, believing fear is better than love. From the very beginning, Homelander wanted one thing more than anything else, to be loved. But after years of rejection and manipulation, he convinced himself that fear was more reliable than love. Instead of earning people's respect, he forced them to obey him. At first it worked, people applauded him. The media praised him, no one dared challenge him. But fear has one major weakness. The moment people stop being afraid, everything falls apart. By choosing fear over genuine connection, Homelander guaranteed he'd always be alone. Mistake number 2, trusting Vought to define who. Homelander spent his entire life letting Vought decide his identity. They created his image, his speeches, his personality, even his emotions. Instead of discovering who he really was, he became whatever Vought wanted him to be, and when that image started breaking apart, he had nothing underneath it. That's why criticism affected him so much. Because if the world's greatest superhero wasn't real, who was he? The biggest mistake wasn't working for Vought, it was never learning to exist without them. Mistake number 3, destroying every real relationship. Homelander constantly pushed away the only people who could have grounded him, whether it was Maeve, Black Noir, Ryan, or even people who genuinely tried to understand him. Eventually, he betrayed, manipulated, or threatened them. Why? Because he believed relationships meant control, not trust, not loyalty, control. And the more power he gained, the fewer people actually cared about him. In the end, he became the most powerful man alive, with almost no one left beside him. Mistake number 4, mistaking power for invincibility. Homelander believed being physically unstoppable meant he could never lose, but strength doesn't solve every problem. He couldn't force people to love him. He couldn't erase his insecurities. He couldn't control every situation, and every time someone challenged him emotionally, he became reckless. The stronger he felt physically, the weaker he became mentally. His greatest strength slowly became his biggest blind spot. Mistake number 5, becoming exactly what he hated. Homelander hated the people who experimented on him. He hated being treated like a product. He hated growing up without love. But instead of breaking that cycle, he repeated it. He manipulated others, used fear as a weapon, expected absolute obedience, and treated people as tools instead of humans. Without realizing it, he became exactly what created him. That's the ultimate tragedy of Homelander. He escaped the laboratory, but never escaped its influence. Homelander wasn't destroyed by one fight, or one enemy, or one bad day. He was destroyed by years of terrible choices, each one making the next mistake easier than the last. And that's what makes him one of television's most terrifying villains. Not because he's the strongest, but because deep down, he's still the scared child who never learned what real love looked like.